So the first experiment that I did with the Toronto Symphony project was to make a series of chords. For me, chords are kind of like the skeleton of a narrative, the skeleton of a story. So I made these chords and I sent them out to a group of musicians in the Toronto Symphony, 8 musicians playing very different instruments. And I asked them to listen to the chords and add to them in various ways. I asked them if they wanted to add new chords in between my chords, and especially to add melodies that fit with my chords, or to add extra sounds that my chords suggested to them. And in general, actually I can't remember if I said this explicitly or not, but I think I asked them to make this music based on their instruments. So we'd kind of have their personality, their instrument, and their comments on my music. And I gave them about, not too long, about a week and a half to react to what I sent to them. And I got fantastic things back. I got them back kind of at the last minute, a couple of days before I wanted to turn them into a little piece for the launch. But I got wonderful things back. I got some chords from the musicians, and I got some really unusual melodies. Some of the melodies were, I don't want to say what I would expect, but fit very well with my chords, but some of them were pretty wild. Difficult to play on the instruments, virtuosic, almost like the solos these musicians had always imagined, and they saw these chords and boom, this music came out. And when I got the music back from them, I listened to it, I thought about it, and then I wrote a little piece about 5 minutes long, which is kind of like a sketch. And the idea was to combine the chords that I'd sent to them, the shape that those chords made, the music that they'd sent back to me, and then some back and forth that we could do when we were together in Toronto. So this piece, you'll see, you can find the chords online. You can find the actual little piece I wrote, and the piece is a combination of my chords, their reaction, and then near the end of the piece, we come to some of the chords, and I wrote out some adjectives like majestic or crazy with some instructions. And when we get to those measures, we were all on stage together, the 8 of us, the 8 musicians and myself. I was conducting. When we got to these special measures, I'd stop at the beginning of the measure. We'd all look at the chord. We'd all look at the descriptions I made. And then with my gestures, I'd show which musician should play at which time and the general feeling for that measure, which gave us the ability to actually go back and forth and shape this together on stage. So in this little piece, I called it launch music, since it was the first little experiment that we made for the project. I got to try a variety of things, sending out my music, getting musicians to respond, thinking in my studio at home how to combine their melodies into my chords, and then how to set up a structure for us to experiment on stage. So it might be fun. You can take a look at the music I sent out. You can take a look at the video of what we did on stage in mid-June at the Idea City Conference. Listen to the music, and I hope you enjoy it. What I'm going to do now is take that first experiment of 5 minutes and play with it some more. It was a great first step, but I'm going to work on it in my studio. Then I'll send it back out to you in another couple of weeks, and you can tell me what you think, and maybe I'll ask you to add a little bit more music to it. So I hope you enjoy it.